do it. What's up, San Antonio? What's up, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from San Antonio, Texas. We are 840 subscribers strong, making our way to 1,000. It is Friday. Excited because the weekend is upon us. The Mike Taylor Barbecue Cook-Off is upon us tomorrow. This time tomorrow, we'll be tasting a lot of barbecue out there.
You will.
I am taste testing the chicken.
Yeah. And Chicana Fuerte's doing what is she doing? The specialty?
The specialty as well. So we have a big show today because, I'll be honest with you. I walked in the door about 5 minutes ago. And what I tell you, Joe, I said, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I am amped up right now because I wasn't feeling it 5 minutes ago. But I got to produce an hour and 15, an hour and a half of quality sports, pop culture, and nostalgic content.
That's how we do things here.
Up. Yeah, so we just got to go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into things, and we're going to give away, by the way, Spurs tickets on this show. We're going to spin the wheel not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Wow. What else
today?
are we giving away?
We're giving away tickets to the Mike Taylor Barbecue Cook-Off plates.
Nice.
I'll give away 2 plates.
The gift of food.
That's right. It's a gift of love because that benefits the Salvation Army and the Boys and Girls Club over there off of Peacock. The barbecue cook-off is going to be outside of Woodlawn Lake. Yeah. At the Peacock location. So we'll
be
10 to 4. Here's the thing. Something happened yesterday to me that was both cool and uncool at the same time. I am in the financial world, and one of my vendors gave me a VIP access to the Texas Open over at TPC San Antonio. And you have all these PGA golfers out there, some big names. I got to see Ricky Fowler and Rory McIlroy make their way right past me. I mean, I was 5 feet away from them at one point. Got to see them tee off at the 11. And we set up shop at the 16th. We had this nice pavilion, covered patio, so we're not baking in the sun. And they gave me open bars, so I'm having a great time out there. Who I wanted to see was Rory McIlroy, and I want to see Ricky Fowler. And they made their way finally to the 16. They teed off. Rory ended up hitting it into the stands.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And you had Ricky Fowler nailing it within about 5 feet of the hole. It was a par 3, 168 yards. A lot of them were using their 6 irons on those shots. The pin placement was trash. Okay, it was awful pin placement. It made it rough. Okay, it wasn't easy. What was so funny, though, was that whenever someone would shank it or hit the hit the stands, everyone would be chanting, "One of us, one of us." Okay, so here's the thing. I waited 4 hours for them to come around. Had a few cocktails, stopped drinking at 5 o'clock because of intermittent fasting, waiting for them to come by. And then they teed off, and that was fine. So I decide it's time for me to leave. Okay, I don't want to stay anymore. But what I didn't realize was that Jordan Spieth was right behind them.
Oh.
So there I am making my way down. I'm on my phone, talking very lowly, very softly because you're not supposed to be on the phone. And I'm making my way, and I see this guy just whack a ball. I saw it take off. And I'm like thinking nothing of it because I had seen golf shots all day long. And then I heard the crowd erupt, and I realized, I was like, oh my God, was that a hole in one? And I ran into the area there that's the fairway. Mm-hmm. And you can make your way across. And I see Jordan Spieth running towards the ball and picking it up and celebrating. So I theoretically saw a hole in one, but it wasn't from the vantage point that I had been all day long. Had I been at that same vantage point, I would have had a perfect view of it. But instead, I'm at the floor level, and I didn't even see the ball go in the hole from where I was at because there were people in front of me. It absolutely sucked, but I did have a fun time. And if you have a chance to head out to TPC San Antonio, they do a great job out there. We'll warn you guys, by the way, there's no parking at TPC San Antonio. So if you want to get to the tournament, what you've got to do is you've got to go onto their website and find out what places are shuttling, because they're providing shuttles from various churches around the area, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles away. You shuttle your way in, or a lot of people were just Ubering to the front. So, little FYI. So, tell us about the wheel. When are we going to do the wheel there, Joe?
So we'll do the wheel probably, I don't know, maybe midway through the show, something like that.
Chris Gonzalez, you heard a hole in one. That's it.
Oh,
I
God.
saw the swing, and then I heard the roar. That's all it was, man. Sis saying, man, Mike, you should have waited a couple of minutes. Had I known that Jordan Spieth was behind him, I was so fixated with watching Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. Those are my two guys.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth, a Longhorn, was great. Now, I did see him pick it out of the hole, and I did see him tee off at the next hole at the 17. I walked to the 17
Yeah.
because at that point I was going home, and going home was going from the 16 to the 17 to the 18. And so I did see, and I have video of Jordan Spieth teeing off at 17, but I missed it, man. I mean, I was there, I was in the crowd, I was cheering,
Yeah.
I saw it take off, I heard the whack, but I never saw it go in. And the vantage point that I had for the entire day would have been perfect. And if I knew it was Jordan Spieth, I would have been recording.
Oh, yeah.
And I
dude.
effing missed it.
You left too early.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so the spinning wheel will do it in the middle of the show, and basically it's all the names of everybody who was, subscribing to the YouTube channel as promised. You're subscribing to our channel. We're going to reward you. And we also have some of the OGs that have been here since the beginning, threw their names into the fray as well. But the thing is, with the spinning wheel, it's hard to see the names because there's so many people who entered.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the spinning wheel is when we spin it, through the advent of technology, whatever the little arrow randomly selects as the winner, it tells you the name of the person at the bottom.
Okay.
So you can clearly see it.
So there's no
nefarious things going on.
Right?
Exactly.
And again, we'll give away a couple of plates to the Mike Taylor barbecue cook-off, which again is from 10 to 4. It's going to be over at the Salvation Army, located at 615 Peacock Avenue near Woodlawn Lake. I'll be out there probably from about 10 to 2 or so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come by, say hi, 10 to 1 or so, because the judging ends at
12:30. Yeah.
At 12. But I have a lot of chicken in me, man. So I'm going to stop eating around 5 o'clock today, get the food in me, be ready to go, be hungry.
You're going to have to do some walking next week to burn off the calories from the barbecue, man.
Exactly. Midtown Texas reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying, I want to win a date with Mike.
Oh.
Okay, we'll watch Brokeback Mountain together, because I did say that I was going to do that as a nostalgic review, but not that there's anything wrong with that. Let's take a look at the news of the day in sports. As we're walking in, I was like, hey, it's a pretty slow news day. No blockbuster trades in the NFL. Basketball's kind of come into a close. And then I walk in and I see that Bronny James has decided to declare for the NBA draft. The announcement made less than half an hour ago. But then again, he also says that he's going to keep it open for him to go into the transfer portal. So Bronny James, I'm sorry, is not going to be an NBA player. And if he is an NBA player, it's not going to be a high-level one. Bronny James, as you know, is the son of LeBron James, one of the greatest players in NBA history. LeBron has said that he wants to play with his son. And Bronny is coming out after his freshman season over at USC. Keep in mind, before that season started, he had cardiac arrest, and he missed the first part of the season, came in around December, played about 19 games, but that team sucked. And on top of that, he only averaged 4.8 points per game. Bronny James on Instagram releasing a statement saying, quote, I've had a year with some ups and downs, but all added to the growth for me as a man, a student, and an athlete. I've made the decision to enter the NBA draft while maintaining my college eligibility, and will also enter the NCAA transfer portal. Thank you to USC for an amazing freshman year. And as always, thankful for my family, my friends, doctors, athletic trainers, and fans for their support. Sincerely, Bronny Jr.
How do you enter the NBA draft and also the transfer portal? That's odd to me. So what are you going to do?
Well, it basically means that he doesn't belong with that organization.
Yeah,
he doesn't belong in that group. And, it's strange because he's obviously a very talented player, right?
Yeah.
He's very talented. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. He's the son of a living legend. So you kind of feel that because he has that knowledge of his dad, that he's going to be something special. but you're never going to live up to your dad if your dad is LeBron James.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Michael Jordan's kids didn't live up to him either. But the thing was that a lot of people thought that Bronny could actually be an NBA type of quality player. He's a combo guard. He's not like his dad. His dad's a tank. His dad is 6'8" and is a tank. Bronny's 6'5", combo guard, point guard, shooting guard. That's kind of what he does. And at some point, players will enter the transfer portal because they don't fit the system. We're seeing this in LSU on the women's side with Haley Van Lith leaving LSU for the transfer portal after just one season with the Tigers. I like this. I like the ability for these players to go and seek the opportunity.
Yeah.
And a lot of the old school people who follow college sports hate it because they're like, oh, well, you have no loyalty. Well, the coaches have no loyalty. So why should we expect that of these players, these student athletes? It's a business, man. There's no student athlete going on over here. It is a business. And Bronny James right now is going to be working out with some teams, and the teams are going to judge him for that. And he'll get an assessment as to whether or not he's going to be drafted. And if he is drafted, where? Because if he's a first-round draft pick, he's going to have a guaranteed roster spot. First-round draft picks have guaranteed money. If you are a second-rounder, however, nothing is guaranteed. No roster spot guaranteed. No money is guaranteed. You might get a signing bonus, but that's about it. You're going to be, pack your bags for the G League. Go play for the Rio Grande Vipers. Go play for the Austin Spurs, because that's what's going to end up happening to you. And I honestly think he's going to come back for one more season, unless one of these teams is going to get him with the hopes that LeBron James, who's a free agent this year, by the way, with the hopes that LeBron James would want to travel with him and go with him. That would be a circus right there.
It would be, man. That's odd to me, though, man. Like, you're entering the transfer portal. You're going to go ahead and declare yourself for the draft. So what happens if he doesn't get selected in the draft?
Yeah.
Is he going to come back?
Goes back. He goes back. Now, Tavares is saying that he hates the transfer portal because players go to 4 schools in 4 years. I don't think that's how the transfer portal works. I think you can enter the transfer portal only once.
Yeah. They had different rules with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But that's changed already. Those rules have changed. I think it was in the last year. So they're back to their normal rules, like you were saying. You can only transfer once.
Once, and then you can also transfer again if you've graduated college already and have eligibility. I know that's how Joe Burrow did it over at LSU. I don't think Joe Burrow ever took one class at LSU because he graduated from Ohio State and then he made his way over to LSU.
Look at what Leha says. He says they said he had to be medically cleared before being made available for the NBA draft.
And that's scary. I mean, we're talking about a 19-year-old kid who had cardiac arrest.
Well, the same thing, not cardiac arrest, but LaMarcus Aldridge had that heart murmur.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was dangerous too, because technically when he's on the court and he's playing, I mean, he has a possibility of passing away playing the game,
It's been a while since something like that's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that before. I remember, was it Hank Gathers who passed away back in the 90s?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was crazy, man, when he collapsed right
on the court.
And I think it was Bo Kimball, who was the basketball player's teammate, Loyola Marymount, if I'm not mistaken, who shot the free throws with his left hand in honor of his teammate. He knocked him down.
Yeah.
Spurs back in action tonight, 7:00 tip-off against the New Orleans Pelicans. If you are looking for a deal, if you're looking for to try to make some big money, the Pelicans are favored by 11.5, but you can get the Spurs at plus 400. That's 4-1 odds. You bet $100 that the Spurs win, and they do win. You get your 100 plus 400 back. That's the way it works. But Wemby's going to go out there. I doubt he'll get a quadruple double today, but he was what, one block and 2 assists away last time from getting it. Take it on Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson's looking a little bit better, man. I mean, this Pelicans team is pretty good. And I'm looking at the standings right now. And I was thinking about something on the way in, Joe. And let me know what you think about this, because who are the marquee teams in the NBA? Because the season's about to end. We've got about 6 games per team right now. And when you look at the best players out there, the most popular players, who would they be? They'd be LeBron James. They'd be Steph Curry. They'd be maybe Joel Embiid, Giannis. And I was thinking about it, man. You look at the standings right now. The number one team in the West right now by half a game is the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are also the best defensive team in the NBA. And Rudy Gobert is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Don't throw rocks and sticks at me. That's going to happen. Okay.
But then, I don't know if it will, but I mean, there's been a little bit of a movement amongst the media on the 4-letter networks and whatnot, even in NBA TV, where they're making a push saying that Wemby deserves to win Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year.
They're trying to justify it, and I get it, and I believe that Wemby is very deserving. We were talking to James Pledger yesterday from San Antonio Sports Star, and he brought up a fact that I've brought up in the past too, is that with Rudy Gobert, he's got perimeter players around him. He's got Karl Anthony Towns, got Anthony Edwards, who are lockdown defenders themselves. They're the number one defensive team when he's off the court.
Yeah.
Even still. So they're a juggernaut when it comes to defense. They're only giving up 106 points per game. Think about that. 106 points per game is all that they give up.
I ain't believing in the Timberwolves. I think they're fool's gold, man.
Well, I mean, with that defense, though, I mean, you'll always be in the game. But look at the standings right now. The top three teams in the Western Conference are separated by just one game. Minnesota at 53-23. The Nuggets at 53-24, and Oklahoma City Thunder at 52-24. They're going to fight it out the last 6 games of the season, and all three teams are winning. T-Wolves have won 8 out of 10. Nuggets, Thunder have won 6 out of 10, but the Minnesota Timberwolves have kind of leapfrogged both of them over the past week or so. Behind them, the 4th spot, the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard. You know, it's one of those things where Kawhi Leonard's there for the playoffs, man. He's not there to do anything in the regular season.
He's a part-time player regular season, man. Come on.
And then look at the Dallas Mavericks, winners of 8 of 10 in the 5 spot, avoiding most likely the play-in tournament.
Now for the play-in, you got the bottom seeds.
Right. So Phoenix and New Orleans right now are tied for 6 and 7. So, you know, again, the top 6 make the playoffs without having to go into the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
So the Pelicans, who play the Spurs tonight, need to get some wins. Okay.
Man.
So they're not going to take it easy against the Spurs. And if the Spurs do well against the Pelicans, given the situation, then I'll start to believe that the Spurs are turning things around. Okay.
Pelicans are in a heated battle right now for that 6th spot, they're tied right now with the Suns, 45 and 31. So if the Suns lose a couple and the Pelicans win out, I mean, they could go ahead and move up to that 6th spot.
They can, but the Pelicans have lost 3 in a row. Below them, the Kings at 44 and 32. Then you've got the Lakers, who have been streaking, man. They've won 8 out of 10 games, won 3 in a row, 44 and 33 record, just a half game behind Sacramento for that 8th spot. Because again, 7 and 8 get home games in the play-in tournament.
They do,
right? 9 and 10, they go on the road. Golden State has pretty much locked up the 10th spot, which means that the Houston Rockets are going to be on the outside looking in. Now, Houston could theoretically win out, but if they do win out, they're probably going to, still be on the outside looking in, which is funny because take a look at this, man. Golden State, I don't know how to explain this, but Golden State is 19 and 19 at home and 23 and 15 on the road. They are a much better team on the road, and guess what they have to do to make their playoffs?
Win on the road.
Win on the road. You read my mind there, Joe. But that's what they need to do. And can you imagine being the New Orleans Pelicans or the Sacramento Kings? And in order for you, and even though you're the home team, and New Orleans would have 2 chances, imagine having to play the Lakers and LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Oh, okay, and then have to play Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green to make their way through. Insane. In the Eastern Conference, though, here's the funny part about the Eastern Conference. The play-in tournament is going to consist of the Philadelphia 76ers most likely, because the Sixers right now are 42 and 35. Imagine being the 1 seed, the Boston Celtics. Imagine being the 1 seed Boston Celtics, who, by the way, they are also 13 games above everybody else.
Oh, yeah. They have the best record.
60 and 16. The second best team is 47 and 29. The Bucks, right? Imagine being 33 and 3 at home getting the number 1 overall seed, and your reward is to play the Sixers, who have Joel Embiid back from injury, and Joel Embiid right now is balling.
A healthy Joel Embiid. You know what? The Celtics don't have an answer for a big man his size and with his, let's say, offensive attributes.
Yeah.
You know?
Joel Embiid came back just 2 games ago, last night. 33 minutes played, 29 points, made 3 3-pointers, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And the night before, 29 minutes against the Thunder, scored 24. So scored 24 and 29. And suddenly, you add Tyrese Maxey. Suddenly, this team is looking pretty strong. And they're more than likely going to be in the play-in tournament and more than likely play either Boston or Milwaukee in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a crappy situation to be in if you're a
scary,
1 or 2
dude.
seed.
It's scary. Nobody wants to see the 76ers healthy because you always have that possibility that you could be that team that gets knocked out by the 8th seed.
Yeah.
You know?
And it happened to the Spurs at one time.
Oh, God. Against Memphis, man.
Yeah.
They had no answer.
And it was the exact same situation.
Yeah.
Memphis had a lot of players coming back from injury. Memphis was legitimately a top 3 or 4 seed going into the season, but because of injuries, they didn't win a lot of games, but they snuck into the playoffs. Remember back in the day, the Sonics against the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, dude. Man, that was
Dikembe
great.
Mutombo grabbing the ball and just all excitement on the ground.
Can you imagine if that was to happen now with social media? I mean, it would go crazy. Everybody would go nuts because that was one of the biggest upsets in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in that iconic moment, like you said, Dikembe Mutombo, and they had him on the ground screaming in jubilation, holding the ball. Couldn't believe that they upset the 1 seed.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful, dude.
It was beautiful. You know what I can't believe? I don't know if you saw the story. The Oakland A's. Did you hear about this?
What happened with them?
So the Oakland A's want out of Oakland, right? So they are moving to Las Vegas. They're going to be the Las Vegas A's, right? Oakland, who has absolutely nobody going to their games, does not have a home.
Oh, God.
So they decided yesterday
I saw that
they're going to play 3 seasons in Sacramento, California, a Major League Baseball team playing in a AAA stadium that holds only 14,000 seats for 3 years. So imagine making the big leagues.
Yeah.
And you go to Yankee Stadium. You go to, Minute Maid Park. You go to all these different places.
Fenway.
And then you got to go home. You got to go home. And you are at Sutter Heath Park.
It's like coming home.
Yeah, and not only that, they have to share the stadium with Sacramento River Cats.
Oh, the AAA team.
The AAA team. So they have to share it. They're like, so what days do you here? Okay, we'll play when you're not here. We'll keep the seats warm.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a Major League Baseball team with that facility? And on top of that, with those showers, where are they going to live? Dude, the A's are just the worst franchise in all
It's like
of
coming
sports.
back home and playing at Nelson Wolf Stadium, dude.
Just pretty much.
It's falling apart, it needs a lot of renovation.
Dude, this is the equivalent of the Cowboys playing at Alamo Stadium.
God, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Not the Alamo Dome. Alamo Stadium.
Yeah.
Brutal, man. So again, Sacramento is going to have this team for 3 years.
Oh, we had a question by El Jefe.
So Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs, how much does blame go to Wemby's teammates for not doing their part on defense regarding Wemby's Defensive Player of the Year chances? It's a good question. Okay, so it is an individual award, and the advanced metrics show that Wemby is one of the best defenders in the game, maybe even of all time. The amount of blocks he gets, the amount of steals he gets, and what he does. And then the things that don't come out on the stat sheet, like players just avoiding his area. His teammates do get some blame. And whether it's fair or not is doesn't matter. His teammates will get blame. Because if you look at it, who else is a good defender on this team? I mean, Trey Jones is an awful defender.
You could
Keldon
argue.
Johnson is an awful defender. Devin Vassell is okay.
That's what I was gonna say. You're probably a
Jeremy
better
Sohan
two.
is okay.
I mean, they're not elite, but as far as defenders
Yeah,
go on the Spurs, that's probably your two better
and I'm not.
defensive players.
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to hear this stuff about Sohan being elite defensively. He's not.
No,
He's
I'm
okay.
just yeah.
He's okay. He's okay. You know, he might be slightly above average. The same goes with Devin Vassell. But why weren't they able to come together defensively? That's what I don't understand. Now, over the last 4 or 5 games, they've been playing better defensively. You know, getting a lot more turnovers created and stuff like that. But why did they not do that early on? And was it because Pop was playing Sohan out of position for 2 months with that point guard experiment?
Didn't even know how to use Wemby. I mean, he's an enigma. He's so lengthy and he can shoot.
They originally started him at the 3.
Yeah.
And then they moved him on over to the 4, then to the 5. And the belief was it's too skinny to play the 5. And this is kind of where I go back to Greg Popovich being washed.
Oh, no.
Did he forget what decade we were in? Okay, there's no Patrick Ewings and Hakeem Olajuwons and Moses Malones down there. There's no big rough center. Who's the rough center in the league? There is none.
No.
There is none. And the idea that Wemby couldn't play center was just wrong from the get-go. And the Spurs went out there, had him play the 3, struggled a little bit. He did.
Yeah.
He struggled in November. He struggled in December. And this was at the time when everyone was like, okay, well, Chet Holmgren, won Rookie of the Month in November, December, because at that time, a lot of Spurs fans right now are just annoying right now. They're like, oh, remember when you all said that Chet Holmgren was going to win Rookie of the Year? Dude, it's a snapshot in time.
We didn't even say that. What we were saying is that the narrative was the media was spinning shit from the beginning.
Right.
And then Wemby made his case when he started playing better.
But it was right, because
Yeah.
Chet was actually playing better than Wemby the first 2 months.
Yeah.
Chet was also more prepared than Wemby the first 2 months because he traveled with the team last year. This is his rookie season, but he was with the Thunder last year.
Yeah.
But he got hurt in preseason or before the preseason started, actually. But, Wemby has turned it on. If the award was for what has been happened on the court from January 1 to now, the award is Wemby. But the fact of the matter is that November and December do matter. And to Jeff Garcia's point, do the teammates have some blame? Unfortunately, they do. Now, is that fair or not? It's probably not fair. But they do share blame on it because the team sucks defensively.
Yeah. And they still haven't figured out that, you know what? When it comes down to crunch time, you're down by 1 point. You give the ball to the tallest guy on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take shitty 3-point shots. Why? To me, that's a head scratcher sometimes because Devin Vassell is guilty of that. Instead of feeding the ball to Wemby or getting a better look, let me take a ill-advised 3-point to try to win this game off of one leg,
dude,
off balance.
Devontae Graham playing a few minutes for the Spurs, and suddenly he has absolutely no problems getting the ball into Wemby. It's like this guy hasn't played all year long.
It ain't hard.
He goes in there. Oh, you got a 7'4" guy up there. He'll be tossing to you.
He's the tallest guy on the court.
You want it right here, right at this spot. I mean, and that's just there's hero ball going on.
Yeah.
And this is where I'll look at Sohan a little bit, and I'll give him some props, give him some flowers, is the fact that I think that Sohan does know his role on the team.
Yeah.
And when they asked him to be a point guard, remember he had that interview a couple of months into it where he said he hated it, that he didn't feel comfortable.
He did it, though.
This is the first time. You know how I say that a lot of athletes don't say what's on their mind, that it's all PR what they say?
Yeah.
I bet you he got shit from the team because
being honest,
because
bro.
he was being honest on that. So
Yeah.
I will respect Jeremy Sohan for being honest when it came to that.
I respect him for another reason too, not just for being honest, but he shows that he's a great teammate, man, that he's going to do whatever's called of him to try to help this team win.
Mhm.
Even taking shots, free throw shots with one hand, as silly as it looked to everybody, even people in the beginning were asking, why is he doing that? He's just trying to get better.
Yeah, Matt Lammer down saying, "Stop with this BS revisionist history. Mike Wemby was the one who didn't want to play center, so let's play him where he's most comfortable at first." I'm sorry, but he's not the coach of the team.
Yeah.
I thought we had the GOAT coach. I thought that that he would trust in the coaching staff. I thought that he wasn't going to dictate where he was. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't dictate where he wants to be.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that the Spurs, I mean, and I will go back and say that the Spurs needed a kind of experiment with where he was going to be.
Yeah.
But the idea, see, the thing is, I'm pushing back, Matt, on the idea that he couldn't play the 5, because a lot of people, even national media, you would hear that from other players, coaches, podcasts, player podcasts, where they would question whether or not he could play the 5. And I never understood that rationale. Oh, well, he needs to gain 10, 15, 20 pounds.
No,
he doesn't.
No.
He needs to be light on his feet, because we see what happens to big men's feet over the years.
Yao Ming
being that's a perfect example of one.
But in the beginning, Wemby wasn't. He even said he wasn't comfortable playing the center position, because that's really not his forte. But I think after getting a little bit acclimated to playing at the NBA level, getting acclimated to the Spurs system, he found that was probably going to be better for him.
Right.
And he started playing better once they went ahead and said, you know what, you are the center. I think Coach Pop in the beginning was like, you know what, let's go ahead and try you out here, because you're not really comfortable playing center. I think Coach Pop was trying to get him acclimated to everything, and Wemby had to see it for himself too.
Right.
You know what? I play better at the center position.
And you know what? It opens it up a little bit better for him. And when he's playing the 3, he might have a better athlete playing against him defensively. Jonathan C. has a really good comment here, saying it's easy to be the GOAT coach when you have 4 Hall of Fame players. Now let's see what you can do to develop players and get back to 50 wins. That's the thing, man. Pop has never done a rebuild. He's never done a rebuild.
Is it Elias? He says, my feet are fucked even at center. You know what? He showed a picture, and I hope he was playing yesterday. He's like, I just bought a PS5, and you could see his feet all mangled up and everything. They're making fun. I hope that wasn't a real picture of his feet.
Yeah, I'm still worried about my left big toe. I shouldn't have shown that photo a while back.
That sucker dead. The nail's dead,
dude. I gotta pluck that nail out and just let that sucker grow back on its own.
What was the name of the girl that was doing your feet at the time? They were like, poor whatever her name was.
Yeah, Susie or whatever it was. No,
oh my God.
I'm actually thinking of. I was reaching out to my friend the other day, and I was telling her, I was like, we got to go do something, like go hang out, and I'm looking at going to a chiropractor. And have you ever had an adjustment done?
Yeah, I've had an adjustment done. And you know what? You feel like $1 million after you go to the chiropractor. They pop everything. They even pop the freaking bones in your hand, your neck, your spine. And you're like, what the hell? Just lay down. Just lay down there. Oh, shit.
I hear that chiropractic is not good for you, but then I see other people who say that it is.
You feel pretty good. Like everything gets popped and you just like, I feel so stress-free and lightweight,
I've gone to one in Helotes, right? And I went there with my first ex-wife many years ago, and we used to go there pretty frequently. And they would just like pop the living crap out of you. Yeah. But they had this device, and what they would do is it was kind of like, it sounded like a stapler. It had the same motion as a stapler. And what they would do is they would lie me down on my stomach, and they would get this thing and they would like press down on it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they were saying, we're making your vertebrae equidistant from each other. Like you are compact because you sit down at a desk all day. You sit down too often. And what they're doing is they're stretching out the spacing between your vertebrae. Dude, you can actually walk out taller than when you first got there.
Wow.
It's a weird thing because they straighten out your back and your posture. And so I'm looking at that. I'm sending some TikToks because I see some chiropractic TikToks from San Antonio there. And I'm like, I'll go check out that place, right? But my goodness, man, there are some videos of these chiropractors in California that get these baddies out there, and they're like, let me just show you how this adjustment works. And no one's looking at the adjustment, dude. Everyone's just looking at Nalga the entire time.
They're picking up their hips and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this, bro?
It's almost as bad as that girl who sits on your lap while she cuts your hair.
Oh
shaves
God!
you.
Hey, I think she's out of Vegas if I remember correctly.
Vegas or LA, one of the two
Yeah,
places.
I think it was in Vegas, bro.
Yeah.
If we go to Vegas, like for summer league or something like that,
Yeah.
we might pitch in to have Mike's hair get cut by that girl.
I know she straddles and cuts your hair and all that stuff in lingerie.
I think she charges some stupid like $300. That we showed the video here before. Yeah.
The things that you find here at the Alamo City Podcast.
Yeah. Oh, but nobody was complaining.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, I want to get my hair cut. That income tax comes in,
The income tax comes in. Oh, my goodness. Sith asking, did we catch the Sammy Sosa meme? Yes, I did. That was actually a good one.
They put your face on Sammy Sosa?
Yes, because they say that I'm being progressively more white.
Oh,
I asked Jeff Garcia yesterday. Jeff Garcia, not only are we colleagues in the sense that we both talk sports talk radio, but we are also really good friends. And I was talking to Jeff the other day because I'm going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And I asked him the question. I said, because he was asking me about the Sammy Sosa thing and how I was getting roasted about that. And I said, dude, when I start like dating seriously, what's going to end up happening if I start dating a white girl? Dude, everybody would give me so much crap, dude. Everybody would be giving me so much crap.
But if you're going to date a white girl, it's going to have to be like ultra white, like full on blonde hair, the blue eyes and everything.
Blonde and blue eyes is fine.
Yeah.
I've dated a white girl before. In fact, before I got married, my girlfriend for about 6 months was white, and she was from Michigan. And, she was a Michigan State grad. Very, very nice girl. She wanted to get serious, and I really wasn't down for that.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, no. And then she got really mad when I met somebody else, and I got married really fast. But maybe it was just, what it was? I didn't like that she was vegetarian. Be honest with you. Do you know how difficult it is to like steak and be married or date a vegetarian?
Did someone say steak?
Steak?
That girl from Deuce Bigelow.
Cakes and pies.
You know what'll be ironic, dude? If you wind up dating a big girl, like a full figure woman.
Well, I have nothing wrong with.
Oh, you're always giving BB Rexa shit, bro. Come on.
Curvy's where it's at. There's a big difference between big girl and a curvy girl.
Borderline obese.
No,
on,
we're gonna try to stay away from that. I'm trying to lose some pounds. Only one of us can be chubby, and that's gonna be me in this whole equation.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, baby. Come on. Hey, man, I like the fact that on the show yesterday, I found out that I have an 800 credit score.
That's not bad.
That was funny, man. I was like, somebody mentioned that I had an 800 credit score. I was like, pretty close. And then I looked.
Yeah.
I logged on to TransUnion, and there it was, an 800 on the dot. Baby.
I think the running joke was, I have an 840 or something like that credit score. And you're like, well, let me see what it is.
Tim Gonzalez is out and says, Mike and Joe, how awesome to see Ariana Roberson play at the McDonald's All-American game this past Tuesday and rep the entire city of San Antonio. Fantastic.
Look at what Dilo says.
Dilo says, if you stick it out, you'll be judging the veggies tomorrow. Someone was talking about on our feed here about dating a vegetarian. Where's that at?
Look at Sam Salinas.
Sam Salinas 800 credit score will get you a nice blonde hair, blue-eyed woman.
The hell with the 1099s. Just show your credit score.
That'll be my dating profile pic right there, man. Hey, look at this. I got an 800.
Put it as the header.
Means
credit score.
Means I pay my bills. I mean, isn't that the first foot forward in online dating right now? Shouldn't that be like, you know what?
Put you in brackets based on credit score. Oh, God.
Well, it's like ladies. Hey, man, I pay my bills.
Yeah.
I make money. I pay my bills. I got an 800 credit score. I got zero debt. That should count for something. Mike Taylor, Mario Cavassa says, like Mike Taylor always says, you can't trust a chick if she doesn't eat fish. Well, I don't eat seafood.
Oh, come on.
Jonathan C. reaches out and says, a 690 credit score will get you a torta from Marbach with 2 kids and drives an Altima.
Why do they always drive Altimas, bro?
Because Altimas are like the cheapest nice car out there. Somebody put down something about dating a vegetarian. There it is. Chris Leha. Chris Leha of MCS General Contracting. Vegetarian girls don't suck. Pause. Let me get banned. Nice.
Let me not be banned.
Let me not get banned.
Oh God.
But Sam also said it was a good move, man. Total deal breaker. Dude, if you want a nice, juicy, and the girl, she was really nice and was like, you can eat meat in front of me. I just don't do it and all that stuff. But this is also the same girl that I took to the rodeo, and we're watching the bullfighting because she was like, I want to go to the rodeo. I'm new to Texas. I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, she was actually kind of hot. We're going over there, and the bull throws off the dude, throws off the cowboy, and starts charging at him, and she starts cheering for the fucking bull, dude.
Oh man, dude.
Dude, I told you we are gonna stop cussing so much, and I've done it twice. You know what?
Dollar.
Swear jar.
Dollar.
Swear jar. Okay.
Every time. Dollar.
I'm gonna limit myself to one curse word per show.
I want to put the jar right here.
Okay, because Joe and I had a conversation about this yesterday. I was thinking to it. I was like, you know what? We've gone a little bit too far with the cursing a little bit. We've gone from having 400 followers to 840. We probably need to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to the sponsorship level of once you get to 1,000, you become a player.
Yeah, you can become a player. Not only that, but I told you what the magic number is for sponsors.
Which is what?
Well, for me personally, it depends on, various factors. But if we can get like 6 or 7 sponsors,
yeah. Oh, no.
I'll stop working my 9 to 5 and just do this full time.
No, I remember you saying that. I was talking about like the number, because once you get to the 1,000 marker,
you get aggregated more on the search.
Yeah.
It's like a search engine, basically.
We are at 840 right now.
Yeah. And we're gonna boost that up a little bit more too, because I have this giveaway as well.
Oh,
it's an authenticated autographed Tony Parker photograph here. And I'm going to give this away with a Tony Parker t-shirt that you could only get if you went to the game where they retired his jersey again, because now he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, it's badass, dude.
Yeah.
This is all amazing.
Oh, and I'm also going to throw in a Fiesta medals, Spurs Fiesta medals. It's like a whole pack. It's like 3 or 4. I might throw that in the fray.
So the people on our stream right now, again, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, are making fun of my ex-girlfriend. They've never met her. They don't know her. Saying she must have had hairy pits if she was a vegetarian and stuff like that. One of my best friends, Anthony, got so mad when she and I broke up because he liked her. Well, he didn't like her as in like he had the hot. He wanted to.
Yeah,
be with her.
He liked her.
He liked her
yeah.
Well, he was just like, dude, she was perfect. I had some friends who loved her because she was a curvy gal, dude. She was what's the phrase? Slim thick. She was curvy, but she wasn't big.
Yeah.
She had basically Sir Mix-a-Lot sang about her in Baby Got Back.
But donk-a-donk, Gotcha, man.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little junk in the trunk there.
Again,
yeah.
That's the white girls, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They make white girls differently these days than they did back in the day.
Gotcha.
White girls in the 90s weren't thick. They weren't.
They were the Taylor Swift.
Exactly. They were either leggy or fat. They weren't anything in between, Interesting. But, going through the divorce, this is stuff that I got to think about, right?
Yeah.
I got to think about the baddies, the local baddies.
Yeah, we're right at the cusp where we can go ahead and do, I guess, the spinning wheel and find the winner. But before we do, let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to our boy, Jeff Garcia. Locked on Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked on Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked on Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked on Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Again, Jeff Garcia at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Follow him not only on YouTube, but also wherever you get your podcasts. Jeff Garcia does daily Spurs content. He's talking about the fact that the Spurs are wearing their City Edition jerseys tonight against the Pelicans. He's also going to have a preview on Locked on Spurs, which just dropped about an hour ago with Dr. McCorkle on Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan injuries, because, again, both the players are out for the season. If you want to know more from an expert in the area, that's where you go. Now, Sam Salinas reaches out to us on our YouTube stream asking if my ex-girlfriend was 34, 36, 24, 36, and she was 5'3".
Only she's 5'3" from Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I would say she was probably 38, 28, 40, and she was 5'5".
Oh, look at Matt Lerma.
He says, it's okay too, Mike. I've dated a white vegetarian before. The curves make you overlook all the red flags. That's great.
Oh, man.
Goodness, man. Being single once again is going to be interesting because you have relationship Mike, but you also have demon Mike, and you got to know which one's going to come out.
Hey, speaking of that, I was having a conversation yesterday with CT, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the Mike Taylor barbecue and everything. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be a judge. I'm going to be on this panel and all that. And I told her, did you see the updated list of the judges? Guess who they have you now on the panel with?
No, I don't know who.
Guess who's in your panel?
Who?
Sam Naheda.
Oh, really?
Naheda.
Don't get me started.
Bean and cheese man. I said, I was looking and Carolina was telling me, I was like, oh God. Man.
No. See,
I'm like,
don't get me started.
And I told Carolina, I said, Mike has a little thing for her, man.
Yeah. She's my social media crush of local celebrities.
And
it's funny because like on a local level, and it's not because I think one way or the other.
Yeah.
About like everybody. I don't think the same about everybody. I've never met Sam Naheda, but I look at her and I think to myself, she's smoking hot, dude.
Oh my
and she's a
God.
curvy gal, dude. I think she's hot.
And I was just telling CT that. And then we're really talking about what we're gonna do at the barbecue, and we're talking about mingling with the people and saying hi to everybody. And we're gonna be hanging out with the Bermeas. We're gonna go hang out with them. They got it going on, dude. Every Mike Taylor barbecue, the Bermeas place is the place to be, dude.
That's awesome. Dilo says, I'm curious at what box you check on the forums when it asks for a race, Mike. I check white because that's our race.
That's really what they have you do when you're looking to do. Is it what do they call that thing? The census.
The census.
You have to check white, and then once you do
white
that,
Hispanic.
It's exactly
right because we have Spanish blood. So it's Spanish blood, Indian blood. That creates the smoothie known as the Mexican. So we put down white race. That's just kind of interesting. Now my daughter is half Filipina, half Mexican, right? So she can kind of go either way. She can go Asian, she can go white, she hates putting down white, by the way. By the way, thank you for giving me the heads up that Sam's gonna be there because
what are you gonna do? You're gonna dress extra nice.
Gonna go buy the Eternity for Men cologne.
Go buy another blue pastel shirt.
Go wear jupe. Go get some jupe or cool water.
Polo Sport, bro, from back in the day.
Oh my god,
that was my go-to.
People are gonna reach out on fucking dude. I cuss again.
Dollar.
They're gonna reach out on Twitter. They're gonna reach out to her and go, hey, dude, stay away from Jimenez.
Hey, you're gonna have to wear the boots.
Huh?
You want to impress? You got to wear the boots.
Oh, I have. Is that what she's into?
Ariats.
Oh, I have Ariats.
There you go.
There you go.
Got to wear the shirt.
I remember telling Mike Taylor. I was like, "Hey, Mike Taylor, we could double date."
Jesus, man. All right, so
because his girlfriend's so nice, Nina.
Yeah,
she's so
Nina
nice.
Duran.
She's so nice. She's a sweetheart. But this is funny. We've gone way off the edge.
Went off the rails, bro. So let's go ahead and get back on
Matt Lerma asking the question. Mike Taylor's trying to set Jimenez up over under on if Jimenez shoots his shot or not. You know what? What's going to end up happening is that I'm going to like bite into some chicken and it's going to squirt all over me. And it's gonna make my shirt all messed up and I'm going to wimp out.
You know what? You need to get you some of that Sex Panther, the cologne.
Mario says that I checked the coconut box on the
coconut
census.
One. Jeez, bro. So let's go ahead and do the spinning wheel, man.
Let's announce what we're doing, by the way.
Yeah.
So again, we're giving away tickets to the Spurs game. Which game is this, Joe?
It's going to be the game for this Sunday. Well, the Spurs are going to be playing the 76ers.
Ooh, Joel Embiid coming in town.
Wemby versus Embiid, And
Beautiful.
We have 2 Spurs tickets to give away, plus the parking pass. Because, of course, we're going to take care of you. We want you to park in no man's land. You will be parking in lot 1, which isn't that far of a walk, So let's go ahead and get to it, man. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. And this is happening live again. And this is just telling you guys that there's nothing nefarious going on. Wherever the wheel lands,
It's where it
it's where it
lands.
lands. So here we go. Well, now the wheel doesn't want to spin. What's going on here?
Oh, we see the names of everybody that's in there.
The wheel doesn't want to spin. Hold on. Let me try to load
Well,
it
that's
up.
Matt Larry in the one spot.
I can't even see where the damn thing's at. Oh, here we go. It says you won. Chivitol. Is that what it is on Twitter's? So that's the person who won.
Okay, and who wins the plates? Because we're at two plates.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and see. I think it's delayed right now. Well, that's the winner of the Spurs ticket. So we gotta make sure we write this down, Mike. I don't have anything to write with.
You are not prepared for this, my man.
No, I don't have nothing to write with. I'm like, what happened to my pen?
And does it say? Am I what I'm looking at right now? Is that what's on? Like
That's
the screen?
that's what's live right now.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and see if we can spin the wheel again. Give me a sec.
Okay. Can we see the wheel?
There we go. There you go.
I don't see the wheel.
Yeah, it's spinning. This is gonna be the winner of the food.
At Triago Tries.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jot that down.
Write it down.
Let me see here and do it one more time for one more meal.
Okay. Here we go. Spinning the wheel.
Pal_Reed.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations. We'll be giving away more things next week as well. Speaking of things to give away, the San Antonio Missions start their season next week. Hope to get some tickets to give away to that. We've got the Tony Parker authenticated signed autograph poster as well. We are on track to have Frank Harris of UTSA football, San Antonio royalty, being on our show. We're going to look for Wednesday as that being that day. So it's good times, man. We've got good times going on here at the San Antonio.
Look at Mario
Sportscast.
Cavazos. Is it
Alamo City
rigged like the
Sportscast.
Spurs won Wemby? No, it's not rigged. It's random.
Did you know the odds of the Wizards getting
What in the hell? Now it's just doing its own thing, Mike.
Did you know when they were doing the draft and they were picking the pinball, the lottery balls out, that the Washington Wizards, upon the last ball being taken out, had a 6 in 11 chance of getting Wemby, and they missed out. Let's do some entertainment news.
All right, you want me to do the bump?
Yeah. So I'm checking out an article right now on TMZ News right now about Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. They have released some photos of Kurt Cobain with his kid, just like family photos from 30 years later, after 30 years after he committed suicide.
Let's go ahead and check it out.
It's pretty sad. The death of Kurt Cobain, and the death of all these stars that happened when we were kids, dude, when we were teenagers. I mean, March 31st, I believe, was the 29-year anniversary of Selena being killed by Yolanda Saldivar. And, right around that time, you had Kurt Cobain committing suicide. Most recently, within the past couple of months, new photographs of the suicide of the body and whatnot were released on TMZ about Kurt Cobain. And it's to kind of shed light as to what happened and how he killed himself. If you've ever go to Seattle, there is a museum in Seattle, Washington, that is all about Museum of Pop Culture is what it's called. It's called Mopop is what it's called. They have an area there of nothing but Nirvana stuff. And it's so great, man. It's like the jacket or the jacket that he wore on MTV Unplugged. It's like the sweater. And then you see like their handwritten notes and their lyrics and their albums and their personal photos. Courtney Love donated so much to that site. Chris Novoselic did as well. Then on the other side of Mopop, they have one that's dedicated to Pearl Jam, and I know that no one has really died from Pearl Jam, but but you can see that Pearl Jam and oh my God, what was the other band? Chris Cornell and all of those guys, Soundgarden, how they were kind of intertwined, how Soundgarden and Pearl Jam toured together all the time in these little cafes and little bars and little clubs and things like that. It's so great. And then Joe, you would love the fact that they have a whole area there to sci-fi villains.
Oh, nice.
Like
dude.
the Terminator, Predator, all that stuff. They actually have the actual,
Guess the
robots,
props. Okay.
the actual props, the actual clothing. It was actually very cool. Mopop in Seattle's badass.
Wow, dude.
It's pretty cool. Other things going on. Still trying to figure out if I want to go to the Kentucky Derby or not. Have not decided whether I was going to go or not. I have a friend of mine who's in the industry as me in financial services.
Yeah.
Who's asking if I want to go with him. I want to go, but I don't know, dude. Like my question is, do I go on the cheap and try to get cheap seats just so that I've been there? Or do I really want to like throw down money to go? Do I really want to throw down so I can, hobnob with a Tom Brady? I'm probably not going to afford that area, but you know what I'm saying.
You're going to see him like you saw Rory walking.
Yeah. Well, like when we go to Spurs games, right? There is the nosebleeds, there's the good upper level seats, then there's the lower bowl, and then there's fifth row.
And then you get to go to the special little club that they have there with the wristband.
Yeah.
And order your food, and they bring it right to your seat. You just text them where you're
sitting. I had no idea.
We're like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, I'm getting hot under the collar.
And that's where you see all the guests of the players, those women that show up.
Oh my God. We never really, and I was going to get a photo with them. I swear that's just something that somebody my age should not do. But there was these two, I don't know if I would call them nuggets, but they look like strippery nuggets.
Yeah, they did.
They were sitting about 5 seats from us.
Oh, they were literally right across from
us.
Yeah,
we were like a one aisle. They were on the next aisle. The stairs were in the middle.
Yeah, you're busy over here looking at the game, and I go, Mike, look at this, and you're like, oh
my God. I mean, they were both butterfaces. Let's call it what it is. I mean, I think combined they had 40 teeth, but my goodness, from the neck down, they were amazing.
Oh,
John C says they're called whores, Mike.
Oh God. I mean, hey, but that was a good experience, dude. You know what? Next year, I'm not renewing my season tickets, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. They want to go ahead and get us for a big increase, and the product isn't where it should be.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm done, dude. I'm not going to do this again. So
you won't be the only one.
Yeah. What I'm going to do next year actually is I'm going to go to some games, some really good games, and I'm going to wind up buying seats in the lower bowl. Hopefully we can get that experience again with the wristband and all that. And do that. Just enjoy sitting down in the lower bowl, watching the game, watching good, matchups and stuff. Spurs win the game, they win the game. But the consolation prize, if I get fifth row seats or third row seats, get to go and drink free booze. So that's always good,
So I haven't talked to you about this, but I may or may not be able to do the show on Monday.
Right.
It's the eclipse. I got family in town who wants to go to Fredericksburg, but like the eclipse is supposed to be like at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be at 1:30.
Okay. I don't know, man. It's supposed to be cloudy too here in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be good weather. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to get some bad storms that might be blowing through the area. And they're saying, we're going to have an increase of humidity and everything, so it means more clouds. So we'll see.
We have a $2 super chat coming in from Jonathan C. saying, when my comment makes y'all LOL, it makes my day. Yes, anytime you refer to girls as whores at the Spurs game.
Oh, God.
Chris Layhouse says, F the eclipse.
Hey, if you're not going to do the show Monday, maybe we'll get Leha in the studio.
Speaking of Leha, MCS General Contracting is supposed to be coming to my house pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, now that you're mentioning them, I'm going to have to go and give my brother some love.
Let's do it.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Yeah, I got the 1099s to hire Chris Leha and crew to come by and make my backyard look beautiful. So they've already done some design ideas and whatnot.
Nice.
You know,
You gonna have a waterfall?
I'm gonna have one of those statues of with a little baby pissing
God.
into the fountain.
The little angel, the little cherub.
D'Lo asking the question: isn't Kerrville like the hot spot in the USA for the eclipse? It's not only Kerrville but also Fredericksburg, which is really close to it. The thing about it though is that I was watching a special about the eclipse on Peacock. They have a 30-minute preview, if you will.
Yeah, the eclipse.
Al Roker is doing this with some other people from.
He's a dick, dude.
I'm sure he is. Man. I'm sure he is.
Biggest dick ever, dude.
So they're asking the question, well, why is this one so exciting? Why is this one so exciting? And he said it's because it's going to be the most watched eclipse in U.S. history.
They're going to live stream it.
Well, beyond that, though, is because if you take a look at the map by which it's going, whenever there's a full eclipse, usually it's in the middle of nowhere. But in this situation here, you're going to have San Antonio in the middle of it. You're going to have Austin. You're going to have Waco. You're going to have Dallas. You're going to have Fort Worth. And basically what he's saying is that there is a map of cities that are huge that are in the path of this.
Yeah.
So that a high percentage of the United States will actually be experiencing this at one time, as opposed to it going through Montana and going through
no man's land,
Kansas, the flyover states. You know, you're going to have like Chicago. You're going to have all these places.
New York, I think, was in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the map right now. Little Rock, Arkansas is in there. So Dallas, Plano, Texarkana, Little Rock, Arkansas. You go further down into Missouri. All you got to do from St. Louis is travel 30 minutes and you're in the path. Kansas City, about an hour and a half away. Indianapolis is smack dab in the middle of it. Cincinnati is within shouting distance of it all. Indianapolis, as I said, Columbus, Dayton, Ohio, or Louisville, Cleveland. The middle of it is Cleveland, Ohio. So you go further into Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York, Syracuse, New York, Rochester, Toronto, Canada. You just keep going on and on and on, and you're going to see even into Vermont, New Hampshire. Basically, what they're saying is, look at all these major cities
that are going to be there,
that are going to be in the path of all this, and that's why it's a big deal.
Chris Leha, man, I like him. Like what he said. He says he'll pull up on Monday. Why not? Because TxDOT has restrictions on commercial trucks.
Oh, wow. Sam is reaching out saying, don't do it. Don't go to the place of totality because the traffic is going to be awful. Now, the thing is, I have family that lives over there in Fredericksburg. So if we're going to go out there, we're going to be with family. So it's not like we're going to be at some hotel spending thousands of dollars a night to go out there. So someone was talking about Ripley's Believe It or Not going under. Is that true?
Yeah, they closed everything that's right across from the Alamo because it used to be a tourist trap.
Yeah.
So all that stuff is done, dude.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
They're going to make it a museum.
They need to. And that was the problem with the Alamo. If you ever go, the first time I got married was at Mission San Jose. And you go to Mission San Jose on the south side.
Yeah.
And you see how beautiful it is. And you see the church, how beautiful the church is. And then you see the courtyard.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get an idea of what it looked like back then.
Yeah.
You go to the Alamo, all that's there is the church.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. People don't realize that it was a fortress.
Yeah, it had a wall and everything.
And walls all around it, right? And the more that they can do to get back to that. And I know they're getting rid of those buildings over there. They're getting rid of Ripley's, believe it or
Get rid
not.
of the Crockett Hotel, man, that sits right behind the
Yeah.
Alamo. If you try to take a picture, that damn hotel's right there.
I agreed. And then you have Moses Roses, which was the bar that
Oh, yeah.
finally came, which was a great bar, by the way.
Yeah.
That was I used to like going there. But they need to open it up so that you have an Alamo experience as opposed to
Yeah.
going, because the number of people who come to San Antonio to visit the Alamo, we're talking about millions of people a year. You've got to understand that a majority of them hate it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they get disappointed. They're like,
This is it.
this is it. And we have not, we destroyed history by putting River Center Mall right next to it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can go and park at River Center, and then 2-3 blocks away is the Alamo. You just walk there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not far at all.
But lots going on. Hey, so speaking of Ripley's Believe It or Not closing down, somebody asked me a question yesterday. And I was thinking this would be a good topic for another day, but we can talk about it now. The gondolas at the zoo, the guy that runs the zoo on Twitter was on April Fool's Day talking about how they're going to bring back the gondolas, and people got excited. And then it was like, oh, wait, that's an April Fool's joke. What one building or company or attraction that fell under would you want? Because we talked about Buttercrust, right?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Buttercrust being one. Dude, I still to this day miss Malibu Grand Prix.
The castle.
The castle was amazing.
Get on the bumper boats. Have some fun.
Man, that was some nasty ass water right
Oh,
there.
hell yeah, it was. If you got it on you, you'd probably get like a rash or something.
And what's weird is that you go over there's nothing there.
And then you can still make out the little track.
You can make out the track, but they were supposed to make it into hotels and stuff.
No,
they did nothing. They just demolished it all. Sam Salinas says he wants to bring back All-Stars.
God, man. We passed by that the other day when I went on that camping excursion with my buddy Jonas.
Yeah.
We're coming back from Luling, and we happened to pass that going down I-10. And I told my friend Jonas, hey, that used to be the old All-Stars. He's like, no shit. I said, yeah, dude. They took it all. They took the sign down, dude. It's gone.
The best part of All-Stars is the fact that behind it was a pool hall called Nice Rack.
Oh, yeah, dude. No, they have a sports bar now that's right behind it.
Yeah.
Still open. I-10 Ice House or something like that. Yeah, it's still there.
Hey, did you hear that the Red McCombs Indian made a move?
Oh, yeah, I saw that, dude.
They Jordanton High School?
Yeah, I saw it.
And people are all pissed off. Dude, it's a freaking statue.
It's Indian, dude.
Dude, I love that statue. Again, because if you drove by it and you look back from Callahan Road, you look back, that thumb looked like a penis. It was the funniest thing, dude. Man. It was the funniest thing. But that Red McCombs, which, by the way, that was originally on Broadway back in the day.
Look at Sith. He says, bring back the volcano. Joe's Volcano.
Well, it's still there. It's just a different name.
Yeah. If you went to Joe's Volcano, man, you don't need the COVID shot. Yeah, man. If you went there, you're good, bro. You're good.
and if you went to Graham's, that's your booster.
Yeah, that's the booster, bro.
All right. So Sith is wanting us to let people know that Leha himself, Castro, and Swiss are going to host a WrestleMania space. Please and thank you, he says. Yeah. Are you into WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'm into WrestleMania. I'm gonna be watching. It happens Saturday and Sunday. So Cody Rhodes is gonna be battling the Rock on Saturday.
Really?
And then he's gonna go up against Roman Reigns for the title. So that brother's putting in work on the weekend. He's gonna be fighting both days. The headline, he's gonna be headlining both Saturday and Sunday.
That's badass.
And he's like, you know what? He even came out, I think it was on ESPN, and he's like, I'm ready. He goes, Roman Reigns is just a part-time wrestler. I do this shit all day, baby. I'm fit. I'm ready to go. So I was like, you get it, boy. Go get that money.
That's badass, dude. That's badass. And I've never been one into that, but I'm not gonna crap on people for getting excited about it. Real fast, quick update before we go. The Valero Texas Open. A gentleman named Akshay Bhatia is the current leader right now. He shot a 63 yesterday. Wow. He's even today through 11, still 9 under. Brennan Todd is second place at 7 under. Russell Henley and Justin Lauer at 6 under. Tommy Fleetwood, who I got to see yesterday, He was paired up with Rory McIlroy. Both McIlroy and Fleetwood are tied at 4 under right now. Max Homa at 4 under, along with Bronson Burjun, Denny McCarthy, Tyson Alexander, Ben Griffin as well. We saw that hole in one on the 16th yesterday by Justin Spieth. Let's see how he's doing right now. Jordan Spieth, rather.
Yeah.
He is 3 under for the day, 2 under for the tournament. He shot a 73 yesterday, but is 3 under today through 12. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for all the likes and subscriptions and all of that stuff. I have to get back to the day job,
to the grind.
Mm-hmm. Check you guys out later, man. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Oh, don't forget Mike Taylor show. Mike Taylor barbecue cook-off. See you guys tomorrow.